seen the Star Wars movie? Rey is tied up and there's that stormtrooper and she's like, you will open the door. And it's like, I'm not going to open the door. Y'all know who that is? Yeah, for those who don't know, it's Daniel Craig. He's a big Star Wars fan. And so he was like, can I get in the new movie? I'll put a mask on. And so he's actually just a stormtrooper who has like 3 lines. I was like, that's cool. Like, that's exactly what I wanted. So, granted, I'm not James Bond, but I'll be.
That's a new big applause of James Bond.
Thank you for the question. Thanks for watching 11 years. Super cool. He wants to do James Bond, but he wants to do Game of Thrones because he gets to be naked.
That's Spartacus, dude.
Spartacus.
I made the same mistake. I was like, I'm not watching that dumb show. It's a bunch of naked people running around. That's Spartacus.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so once again, I'd like to thank you guys for bringing awareness to depression and anxiety. It actually helped me talk to my parents about it a little bit more and helped me feel a little bit more comfortable with it. So thank you very much for all of that. But my question is, we feel a lot of talking to your guys' family today, and yesterday we should told some cool stories about Mason and Les. And I was wondering if you guys have any recent stories about you and your kids.
Yeah.
We just went to a Renaissance fair in Austin last weekend. And at first, JJ was kind of resistant of the very colorful characters that are there. And after I was challenged to hit a guy in the face with a tomato. So I'll make the scene real quick. We were walking by and there was literally a tomato throwing booth, kind of like a dunk tank. You know what those are? Except it was just a guy with his head through a giant cardboard wall and just shouting out insults and he was yelling at people walking by and the thing was that you would pay a couple bucks and you get like half a dozen tomatoes and you could chuck at this guy and try to hit him in the face. And it was a pretty good throw. I mean, I'd say it was maybe 30 to 40 feet away. And so the young lady who was taking the money and giving the tomatoes happened to be a big fan of the show. And so, needless to say, she just said, you can throw as many as you want. And so JJ was busy. She had like a fairy who was talking to her, and so she finally asked Danielle to put her princess dress on. So now she was in her princess dress, and she was starting to kind of come around the whole idea. And then they walk up, and look at Danielle, and I'm like, so apparently I can throw tomatoes in this guy's face, and he's yelling. He's like, I don't care what show you're on. You always feel like a stink of LA in your face. You got the stink of rejection from all the shows you couldn't get. Oh yeah, he wasn't holding back. He was awesome.
And Jensen's like, how does he know?
And so JJ's like, what's happening, Daddy? And I'm like, Daddy's gonna try to hit this man in the face with his tail. And so I fired one, and it hit the part with, because it was it was like the size of the stage, and if the guy was like back here, like this, I'm maybe, you're talking maybe 4 or 5 rows deep was where I was standing. This big of a target. And it took me 5, and the 5th one, I hit him so hard. I'm not kidding. Because with each one, I was like zeroing in on it. And apparently the girl was like, he hasn't been hit all day, so he's really, I don't know how often he's get hit. She's like, a couple times a weekend. I'm like, that's it? Like, oh, challenge accepted. So, I play baseball, I have a decent arm. I was rifling these things in there. I mean, as hard as I could possibly throw this thing. And it, one hit, boom, and he started mouthing off, and he looked down and got his, I didn't even waste time. I just, whoa! And it hit him and like split his eye, and it knocked him out of the hole. More proud when I turned to JJ and she was like, yeah, Daddy! And then the guy, he had to walk it off. He came all the way out from behind like the barricade and came out to shake my hand. He's like, it's the hardest I've been in a long time. So setting very good examples for my child, right? That's one thing that's happened.
Respectfully, I can't beat that. So,
I'll have to bring you next time and we can just like...
we were taking turns. I took my kids, there's a show that is their favorite show, it's called Wildcats. And they did a live action show in Austin. And so I called my manager and was like, hey, is there any chance we can like get backstage to meet the Wildcats? And it was the best day of Tom and Chef's life. I mean, Martin and Chris Pratt came out and they were like, I mean, like kids, like true joy in their face. I looked at Jen and I was like, our sons just peaked. They're 2 and 4. They were the Back Brothers. They were amazing, incredible, and kind, and genuine. And yeah, that was a good night for little How Lucky Boys.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Shay, and me and my family are just a big fan of you guys. And my question is, since 11 years of Supernatural, what is your most memorable moment in Supernatural?
Yeah, what was your most memorable moment that lasted the longest years of your life? She's like, do I need 11?
She's like, oh, right now.
We've had some pretty big moments over the past 11 years. He and I have reflected on this many times. We've had, we've had major milestones, we've had major losses, we've had, triumphs and tribulations and everything in between. And it's hard to pick what moment really stands out the most. For me, it's not a moment. It's what 11 years has given us, and I know there's some sort of quote that life is not defined by the things you have, but by the relationships you have, and I believe that the relationships that we have acquired over the course of the show is the greatest thing that we've got. Those are the greatest moments, the moments that I get to have with my 8-camera operator, or our on-set props, or with Jared, or with Misha, or with Clark, or with Tim, or with these people that I think just bring so much life and love and color to the world that is Supernatural. That is my favorite thing about the show. So, thanks.
Essentially the same thing. I remember, I remember asking Jensen to stand at my wedding. I remember him asking me to stand at his wedding. I remember meeting my wife on set and asking her name, and she blew me off. It was awesome. I remember getting picked up for the back 9 of season 1, and I remember getting picked up for season 2. But show-wise, there was a 200 episode party that was thrown just for the crew and the cast and their friends and family, and Phil and Todd Aronauer put together this montage of 10 seasons of Supernatural, and it was on 4 different big old screens, maybe like 80-inch screens each or something. And we were at the, what was it, Pan Pacific? And it was called Pan Pacific in Vancouver. And you looked around, it was like Eric Kripke and Jeremy Carver and Peter Roth. I mean, you looked around and it was like, these are all the people that have been involved with getting the show where it was. And then the sound kicked in and the screens turned on. And it was a 3 or 4 minute long compilation, and 4 screens were all showing different things at the same time. And it was a really cool experience to look back and go like, man, 200 episodes, 10 years, a lot has happened. And it's still going on. I hope to one day see the 300th episode party. Thank you very much.
Hi there.
Hi guys, my name's Emily. My question is for Jensen.
Sweet.
So I'm a technical theater major. This year I've recently been doing a lot of work in the theater. And Jensen, with your directing and acting, I was wondering how you manage the multitasking and time management.
Great question, technical question. We have an unbelievable team of ADs that really help facilitate the expediting of everything that we've done for the past 11 years. So I've had Kevin Parks as my first AD all 5 times that I've directed, and he is a wizard when it comes to time management and doing stuff like that. So I lean on him quite a bit, and I think that's one thing that, in my opinion, the directors that come on our show that haven't directed it before and really succeed in doing so are the ones that are available and use the talent that is the crew that is around them, because they understand it, they know it, they know how to facilitate it, how to get things done, and if they dig their heel, if the director digs his heel in, like Jared's doing, right? Then that can backfire quickly. So, I guess it's easy to say surround yourself with very talented people and it'll make your job a lot easier, but it's true. If you've got people that are in positions that you can trust them to help you move along, then that's key. But you can also do things too as a director. I lay out a scene and I'm like, okay, this is all the stuff I need. Now let me start trimming. What is success here? What can I take away that still gets the story told properly? But the key element is to always tell the story and don't sacrifice that. So.
I'm an aerialist in a show here in Vegas, and so I do, crazy, scary stuff up high for other people's amusement for a living. I just wanted to know what the scariest or most exciting stunt you guys did yourself. You didn't give to your stunt guys.
Well, I was going to tell you a cool story about us jumping 12 feet through a church window. If you're an aerialist in Las Vegas, 12 feet is probably like what you do in your sleep. It was to me.
You have to explain the situation. It wasn't just like it was jumping off a second story out of a second story window. It was jumping out of a second story window that was opaque. So you trust that there's something there to catch you on the other side when you can't see it. So it's essentially jumping with your eyes closed. And
She's like, yeah.
She's like, yeah, and my eyes closed most of the time.
That was a bit of a mind. That was a bit of like a mind-body disconnect. It wasn't mortifying.
Yeah, but once I did it once, I was like, oh, let's do it again.
Another thing that I wouldn't say was scary, but was like, oh, this is gonna suck, was the bees, because we knew we were gonna get stung. So it wasn't scary, like we didn't think we were gonna die, we knew we weren't allergic, but we're like, well, this is gonna suck. All right, let's go swat 40,000 bees, actually like pissed off at us. That was pretty scary.
They don't let us do a whole lot of the big, getting tossed and getting air ran 30 feet and stuff. It's just a liability. I mean, not Todd, but another guy who's not built for me, Jesse, he got air ran about 40 feet last year and snapped his collarbone. And So, he's healed, he's fine, he's great, but that obviously took him out, and they can't afford something like that to happen to PRI. Even if, some little guy named Oscar Chow decides to put your shoulder, it's a master child, to be honest. So they don't let us do those big ones. I've often wanted to do it, but like, I want to do that. That looks fun, but it's more insurance. They don't let us. So they will let us do a lot of the smaller hand-to-hand stuff, throwing ourselves into bookcases, things like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, we kind of are handcuffed by liability. So
Yeah.
Awesome, thanks, Luke. You guys ever want to come learn some circus?
hey,
Be looking out, I'll make it happen.
sweet. As long as I've got a wire on it, with it.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't hear.
Was it the last question? Yeah. I believe it is the last question time. No more.
All right, guys, this is Sarah, and she is from Bakersfield, Arizona.
Sarah, would you like to sit down, or you just want to hang out?
Massachusetts, sit to it. She's from Bakersfield, Illinois.
Hi
Sarah?
there. All right. So, you have the pleasure of asking the very last question. What is it?
Well, as you can see by my shirt, I am campaigning for Crowley Dean 2016.
Make America supernatural again. Naturally super again.
Yeah.
We have the whole cabinet on the back.
President Crowley, Vice President Dean, Speaker of the House, Sammy Boy, Secretary of State Gabriel, Treasury, and Jesus, you have like 45 different positions. You know a lot of people are dead.
Chief of Staff, Kane. Communications Director, Chuck Shirley. That's good. You definitely want somebody who can communicate. He's the director of it.
I specifically like Secretary of the Department of the Interior of the Cage, Lucifer.
And we know there's a certain like hierarchy on her list, and the department is something you're like comptroller, Roger number 5. Like,
Key grip.
So, what is your question?
So my question is, if any character on Supernatural could run for president, who would you pick and why?
Jensen?
Play a little thinking for the answer here, Neely.
Well, oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I'm gonna steal from the audience. I vote Charlie.
What do you got?
Castle!
I'm gonna go with Bobby Singer.
I love you!
Is that fun?
Yeah, we did. Vegas, we love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to share this time with you guys. We're super stoked by Stage 12. We hope you are too. And we hope to see you all in place. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jensen Ackles!
basking in the glow. I can still smell their essence, yeah. Well, right now, I'm getting all the musk I need to blame things on.
Yeah. The great thing about being in this casino is the musk is going to get recirculated. So yeah, recirculated.
It's gonna get this, the musk is gonna get pulled over the system, mixed with cigarette smoke,
Yeah.
and shot back down.
Back down to the blackjack table.
How about that, people? Enjoy yourselves? Great. You got a little intermission now? We'll be back in a little bit. We still have people coming to the stage. We still have fun things happening. We'll be back in a little bit. Little bit? We'll be back in a little bit. I do not think money is a measure of time. I've got 4 buddies